Fox is malding that we might stop starving kids in Cuba and Venezuela. Oh, I love this. I love this. The funniest part about this has been like, you know, reconsidering our horrifying and devastating and deadly and violent fucking sanctions on all of our Latin American villains, you know, South American villains now, and North American villains, technically. It's great. It's fucking awesome. Get fucked, America. Holy shit. Fucking pieces of shit, dude. I hope all of these fucking horny assholes who want to kill as many fucking Venezuelans as possible feel at least a crumb of the fucking pain. I hope they stub their toe every fucking day, dude. I hope they you know, they have back pain for the rest of their fucking lives. Do you understand? I hope they never feel the loving embrace of a loved one for the rest of their lives. The ones that are like, yeah, I can't believe it. Ah! What the fuck? Dynamic Jab 13 and Pest Nagel 10. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I hope they step on Legos. Do you understand? I hope they step on Legos like non-fucking stop. Forced to use the VPN in Russia, and now I see the ads. Anyway, here's the fact you won't hear on Fox News today. Exxon, Chevron, and Conoco made $46 billion in profit in 2021. Now they're using 40% of those profits for stock buybacks. Big oil is raking it in, raising prices and taking advantage of the war in Ukraine to push more drilling. Drill, baby, drill. Straight up. I said this yesterday as well. Remember, Ed Markey, friend of the show, follows me. Not a big deal. You know, Ed Mackey, cut the Malaki. Okay? He'll fight for you. He'll fight for you, Ed Mackey. Friend of the show, Ed Mackey, big advocate for the Green New Deal. It's time to ask what your government can do for you. Anyway. As a Venezuelan that was in most of the riots from 2014 to 2018, I'm pretty sure most Venezuelans are going to be pissed off if they lift the sanctions. Why would they be pissed off? Are you telling me that you're a Venezuelan who wants to continue fucking starving? What? You're a Venezuelan living in Venezuela, and you're saying like, no, we want to keep not being able to utilize our natural resources because of the crime that we decided to nationalize it. You know, against Western interests and Western opinions. Because if you're a Venezuelan in Florida, then like, you know, I don't like. I mean, if you don't give a shit about your family back home, I don't know what to tell you. But it's ultimately a good thing. It's like the suspicious Iranians who are like, bro, I'm Iranian, bro, trust me, bro, please glass us, bro. I love John Bolton, bro. MEK, bro, very good, bro. Come on, glass us, bro. I'm Iranian, bro. Come on. It's like, as a Bostonian, I agree. Ed Mackey does sound like that. I know. Friend of the show, dude. As a North Korean, I live sanctions. I love sanctions. Give us more. Anyway. We're going to read the Thomas Friedman article in a second. But yeah. What else did I have? Yes, I am from Russia. Feel for you, brother. And feel for the Ukrainian people as well. It's a really fucking horrible situation because, you know, oligarchs run the fucking planet. Ilya on Fox, we need the clip. Oh, Jesus. Medhurst has also made it clear that Putin is bad. Okay, good. But they are the union pay take is wrong though. So Russia didn't make a move on Ukraine until 2008, but it's not true. Why Russia tried to kill Yushchenko in 2004 if they didn't want to take over Ukraine anyway? And why do you think the West tried to get Ukraine to NATO and arm them if they don't care about it anyway? I don't disagree with you. I just don't understand. Please explain. I never said that Russia doesn't want to control Ukraine. I said that Russia doesn't want to occupy Ukraine and turn it into a part of Russia. Of course, Russia, as the regional superpower, wants to have active involvement and has deliberately and has actively involved itself in Ukrainian affairs. Such is the nature of the fate of smaller nations. Okay. What is this damn OnlyFans is broke? What is this? Damn, OnlyFans is broke. I appreciate your response. However, I'm afraid we're going to have to decline it. A sum of $10 million is simply unfeasible. I would like to wish Jason the best of luck in his career. If he changes his mind about joining the platform in the future, please feel free to get back in contact. Hello, Donkey. I'm reaching out to you today as I recently discovered your page and I'm very impressed with the quality of content you post across your socials. And I am an official talent executive for OnlyFans, specializing in the gaming and lifestyle sector. OnlyFans wanted me to join it too, I think, by way of my agency back in the day. Not back in the day, like a couple months ago. Pretty funny. I would like to offer you the opportunity to embark on a journey enhancing your earnings potential whilst enhancing your ability to interact with your fans. We are sourcing influential creators like yourself to help expand the dynamic of our site. We have such a wide variety of talented creators such as tattoo artists, beauty enthusiasts, travel gurus, and fitness people. I love that. Pretty funny. This proves your point 7 years ago. Major global payment systems. Total cards issued worldwide 2012. Union Pay. China's Union Pay has led number of cards issued since 2010. Market share of Russia in 2014 was 35% to 65%, whereas Union Pay has been in circulation and has been working in Ukraine. A larger percentage of Union Pay was active in Ukraine than in Russia, and they still are continuing to work within Ukraine. Payment systems oftentimes are not, as they care about the aesthetics. We're not going to get back to the fucking house stuff, but if you are losing sleep over socialist buys a house as a supposed Marxist-Leninist, then you are not a Marxist-Leninist. You are just a lib. Anyone who hates me as a lib, copium, is 100% true. No, people hate me for good reason, okay? Hate me because I'm fucking sexy, okay? A lot of people do. That's fine. But if you're a Marxist-Leninist and you're like, I can't blame this person bought a house or whatever the fuck, it's because you're not like a real Marxist-Leninist. You do not understand theory. You are literally just a fucking liberal. You hyper-focus on the aesthetics, just like liberals do. It's the why can't we have civility version of... It's the why can't we have civility version of fucking leftists. It's just leftism is an expression of your livelihood and your world. BuzzFeed is mad at you. 14 inappropriate things celebrities have said about the war in Ukraine. Wait, really? They put me on this? No shot. Twitch streamer Hassan Pikerface Bashlike after preemptively tweeted this about Russia. This is the hill I will die on. Russia cannot launch an urban counterinsurgency war with a neighboring country with 44 million people. With or without NATO support, this is why I've been saying he won't invade Ukraine, not because of anything else. He's a bad person, not a mad one. You know what's really funny about this is that, like, people just hear this part. I mean, people just see this and, like, refuse to recognize that, like, this is the part that is true, though. Like, my ultimate conclusion was proven wrong by the fucking weirdo Putin and his psychotic ambitions. But, like, this part is literally true. Remember when you said you'd be Tim Pool if Kyiv gets attacked? Yeah, except it doesn't matter because, once again, everybody who truly is looking at this charitably will understand what I mean and what I meant. And, you know, and I've already, the only part you got wrong was Putin being a madman. He is behaving like a madman. His attitude is like a rabid dog. At least they called you a celebrity. Anyway, she defended you for the house, but not for this. Right, he bought a car and made the dumb video and shits on mutual aid. Like, I don't know how it was made to stroke Hassan's ego, man. The video is so lame. Lame and vain kind of thing I watch and feel like he made it more for himself than anyone else. Austinox made it as a joke, but go off king. It was made to stroke Hassan's ego, man. Like, I don't know how anyone's arguing with you about this. Yeah, it was. I was like, dude, please. I was like, please, Austinox, make that video so I can stroke my ego. Just, I don't know. I wouldn't even be saying it if he got the car, but had done hundreds of thousands of mutual aid. At least then he could make the argument he's actually put a good portion of his money to good causes. Feel like he's just a giant fraud and his followers support it, right? He bought the car and made the dumb video and shits on mutual aid. Dude, I mean, I'm sorry, but like at this point, and even before this point, I've like literally done fucking. There's one thing you don't shut up about. It's the car. Yeah. I'm always talking about how I have a fucking sexy ass car and I'm flexing it all the time. Yeah. Like, I do mutual aid. It doesn't matter. Mutual aid is not the end all be all the solutions, and it's really fucking annoying when anarchists constantly hold it up as though it's like the only way to demonstrate your fucking true socialist bones. And it's stupid because if that was the case, then Jeff Bezos is the #1 socialist in America. Okay? And so is Elon Musk. Anyway. Mutual aid isn't charity. I've done mutual aid as well. Shut the fuck up. And in some instances, mutual aid is literally fucking worse than charity because mutual aid is just, I don't want to even get into it, okay? There are plenty of mutual aid initiatives that are run by God knows who, okay? Which is why it's a very delicate subject to work with, which is precisely why I only do mutual aid with other actual organizers and activists that I'm familiar with that point me in the right direction. Okay? But some of you motherfuckers literally think mutual aid is just like, hey, PayPal some or you know, post black cash apps, king. How about you fucking mutually aid yourself in avoiding the top of the hour ad break? How about that? By fucking connecting your Amazon Prime account or someone else's Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get one free Twitch Prime subscription a month and therefore no longer see the motherfucking top of the hour ad break, okay? Or for $5, or if you get gifted a sub, okay? How about that? That's the 1 minute ad break now, baby. Let's go! Ooh! Your mic sucks, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, I know. It's on purpose. Can we talk about how mutual aid under capitalism is indistinguishable from charity? Well, mutual aid is still technically charity. It's just charity done by community organizers or whoever. In certain instances, not. No. It's just charity without any sort of regulation or regulatory control. That's what it is. And in some instances, it's really good because it goes directly to the fucking people that need it the most and doesn't have to go through the complicated 501c3 procedures that pay executives big salaries and shit like that. Okay? All right. Representative Salazar Torches House Democrats.
Back to
Marxists
Sunday
are
night
part
in
of the
America,
Democratic
tensions
Party.
are sky high between Russia and the West. Economic.
Wait, Trey Gowdy just straight up is a Fox News commentator now? What the fuck? I thought he was still in Congress. Is he no longer? What the fuck? Oh, no, he's not. He's not a representative anymore. Oh, my God. He's literally just a news personality. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Looks like he's weaking skin. I don't know what that means, but he is. Trey Gowdy, famously worse haircut. Someone should mutually aid Trey Gowdy and give him a fucking good haircut for once. What? People saying Trey Gowdy hasn't been a representative for a long time are unaware that he was literally he was a representative in South Carolina's 4th Congressional District from 2011 to 2019.
Sanctions, travel bans, business boycotts have further isolated Moscow from the rest of the world. Putin is looking for allies and may turn to Cuba. Russia claims it invaded Ukraine in part because it did not want weapons from the West pointed at Russia. The U.S. is not likely to allow missiles pointed at our country either, and Cuba is just 90 miles from America. What should and will our response be if Russia and Cuba partner up again? Florida Congresswoman Maria Salazar is the daughter of Cuban refugees and
2019 is 3 years ago, my dog. Dude, time has not passed since the end of 2019. It's just the truth. If you think that, like, we're literally living 2021, 2022, and 2020 part 1, 2020 part 2, 2020 part 3, okay? We're in 2020 part 3 currently, which is just the third part of 2020. Straight up. It has been frozen since 2019. Cuban Missile Crisis, yeah.
Sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. She joins us now. Congresswoman, what do we know about the relationship between Russia and Cuba?
I think it's a fantastic question, and it's very timely. Well, Cuba and Russia are enjoying right now the warmest relationship they have had since the fall of the Soviet Union. Last month, Vladimir Putin sent his deputy.
Dude, I fucking despise, like, how, oh, so bloodthirsty, dude. Like, this person is a fucking cackling hyena, okay? Remember when I was talking about that yesterday? Like, this is it. This is that jackal that I speak of. This is the dog that fucking screeches when there is just a brief moment of respite, a brief window for normalizing relationships with a country that we have fucking bullied since its revolution, okay? After we gave all the guns that we possibly could to the fucking dictator that has killed more in a short period of time than fucking Castro could have ever imagined killing throughout his entire duration, okay? And this fucking jackal goes on television, okay? And is just like screeching about letting up our continued imperialist occupation of sanctions over Cuba. God fucking forbid. Holy shit, God forbid that the Cuban people have a brief moment. Dude, she's a politician who's a child of Cuban refugees. Chances are she grew up hearing about the plantation they left behind. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. She's like, anyone who tells you like, oh, what the fuck, we're easing up on the sanctions and the embargo on Cuba, normalizing relationships with Cuba, what the fuck, is just saying that because they want to turn it back into a fucking hotel destination and a fucking plantation, okay? That's it. That's what they want. Let the fucking Cuban people live, man. Holy shit. Let them fucking live. Disgusting.
to go to Havana, and they negotiated with the Castros two things. Number one, to light up again this spy post called Lourdes, where the Russians can intercept every military communication that we have, because remember that Havana is 90 miles away from Miami, the city that I represent in Congress. And not only that, the Russians are now willing to pay the Cubans to fix and revamp their airports, their ports, and use them, obviously, for military purposes down the line. So while Russia is doing this despicable act against the Ukrainians, they have been penetrating Cuba since the last couple of years. And it's paying off, because Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua are with Vladimir Putin in this war. But it's not only Cuba, it's Venezuela, which is even worse. I'm not sure if you know that.
Nothing leaked, bro. Nothing leaked. It's just the friends list and a million unread messages. But I hate when Discord is not on the left screen. I don't know why. If you shake application window, it will minimize all other windows. Yeah, I know. It's really fucking annoying. Here, let's run it back. I couldn't pay attention to what she was saying.
Since the last couple of years. And it's paying off, because Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua are with Vladimir Putin in this war. But it's not only Cuba, it's Venezuela, which is even worse. I'm not sure if you know that this weekend, Juan Gonzalez, who is the National Security Council advisor, is in Caracas negotiating with...
Yeah, we should literally just... The things that I want to say about this fucking psycho, this sick freak, unfortunately, I cannot say, because, you know, free speech has its boundaries, its limitations. Obviously, I am on a privately owned Amazon-backed platform. So if I were to say the things that I fantasize about doing to, you know, a American congresswoman in the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I would probably literally go to jail. I would immediately go to jail, but worse than jail, and potentially, you know, a little bit of black site torture, I would be banned off Twitch. So I'm going to stop saying, I'm not going to stop thinking the things that I'm thinking about what she deserves, but I will not say it out loud, okay? But you can't stop me from thinking it, okay? You cannot. As of now, you can't stop me from thinking these things. And oh man, in my fucking mind palace, I am thinking those things right now. Just so bad. So absolutely bad, okay? Holy shit.
Nicolas Maduro, because the Biden administration has come up with the idea, since we're going to probably shut off oil from Russia, now we're going to buy it from the Venezuelans. So we are punishing one tyrant.
Oh no, that would be devastating if we allowed Venezuela to utilize their fucking natural resources. Wow, it would be so bad. If they had some fucking money, dude, it would be so fucking bad, dude. I would lose my mind if that were to happen. Fuck you. You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. It's disgusting that we get to speak like this about other countries. We are literally fucking Nazis, dude, okay? We are. We starve out the rest of the planet. And then we literally have our politicians cackle like hyenas on television to justify that starvation. How is that appropriate? Nuremberg trials for all of them.
In order to benefit another. But you know why? What's really underpinning all this situation is the fact that the Marxists are part of the Democratic Party, and they are not allowing Biden to do what is morally correct from this country, which is to help people that want to be free.
All right, speaking of freedom, what can the U.S. do with respect to Cuba to fan the flame of freedom in that country? What can and should we be doing to incent the Cuban people who want
to fan the flames of freedom in that country? What can we do? Yeah, keep funding the National Endowment for Democracy so they can go and like pay fucking Cuban rappers or some shit. Yeah, do the Lin, dude. Oh my God. By the way, everything I'm saying is 100% true. The American government, the American State Department, actually had multiple different plans, of course, other than the hundreds of attempts on Castro's life. All failed, obviously. But they had other hilariously pathetic attempts, like buying a rap group, basically, to create rap songs, okay, about Cuba Libertad, away from the horrifying, communist administration, communist government. And I love that because I fucking love that because it's like so liberal to think, yeah, no, like what we can do is do a Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, we'll have a Lin-Manuel Miranda in Cuba, and everybody will listen to that fucking rap music, and then they'll turn around and their opinions will change immediately. They will all fucking hate the Cuban government.
Want to be free.
Oh, thank you. There's one thing that the Biden administration could do, which is to empower the Cuban people to come out on the streets again and shout whatever thing they want to, which is the same thing they did in July 11th of last year. Cubans want to be free, and we need to give them...
Dude, there were bigger protests for the government than anti-government, dude. What happened, dude? Remember those protests? Remember how everyone was telling me, I'm a fucking piece of shit for defending the Cuban government? And, and then there was the Gusano debacle about how, it's like fucking slur. It's the worst slur that anyone's ever come up with. What happened to all of those incredibly important conversations that we were having on this platform? It was hilarious that nothing came of that, remember? I mean, I was still punished for the Crackergate shit, but, It's so funny. All of those people that cared about that stuff a lot, that said that was the most important thing to do at the time, is to liberate Cuba by fucking, I don't know, drone striking it or whatever, or by tweeting Cuba Libertad. What happened to all that? Which, by the way, the protests against the government were fucking minuscule, and then the government did what they always fucking do, which is bring out their biggest supporters to go take the fucking streets and demonstrate as a counter-protest. And that was ironically, that was literally the footage that Fox News and so many other places used to show how much support, to show how little support the government had. And they were literally showing footage where the protests were, they were flying like fucking the revolution flags. Yeah, 26 Julio. Anyway.
One thing, leadership and connectivity.
What? No,
I don't. I myself have spoken with the State Department many times, asking them, please give the Cubans the same thing that we're trying to give the Ukrainians, connectivity, internet. Because once the Cuban regime turns off the internet, like they did with the Ukrainians, the Cubans will know, those who are on the street being brutalized by the repressive apparatus, they will know that at least the rest of the world is watching what they want to do. That's the first thing, connectivity. And number two, sending the message to Raul Castro that we are not.
She doesn't mean internet. She means the fake Twitter that the CIA also tried to make in Cuba, which also failed spectacularly. Again, look it up. Real thing. They tried to make like a fucking CIA Twitter in Cuba so they could... Dude, we are the dumbest fucking country on the planet. I swear to God. I don't know how the fuck we have been able to brutalize everybody and like run this shit for as long as we have. That's awesome.
We, the United States, we're not going to allow military personnel. We're not going to allow for the Russians to be paying for anything in Cuba, and that we want to make sure that Putin doesn't have an ally in the Castros. But we're not doing that with Venezuela, with Nicaragua, and with Cuba.
All right, Congresswoman, you're in the minority in the House, at least for now. Is there any sense that the Democrats in the House, and they run the show, are putting pressure on Biden to get tougher on Russia, whether it's in Ukraine or whether it's in Cuba? Is there pressure coming from the House?
Are you fucking stupid? Normalizing relationships with Cuba is literally being tough on Russia. Lifting the oil sanctions on Venezuela is actually a part of the tough on Russia policy, so they can actually fucking, turn around and institute some kind of energy sanctions without taking a haircut on the fucking profits for Shell. That's it. The idea that this is like something that we're only now allowing is so disgusting to me. It is so morally abhorrent. I cannot stress this enough, dude. We are fucking scumbags. Our government is full of fucking bloodthirsty, maniacal, vulturous scumbags, okay? Some of which have the worst haircut on the planet, like Trey Gowdy, and others who are able to fucking cackle like this on television and screech and basically fantasize about continuing the subjugation that we have placed these people under for the crime of living under an administration that has historically wanted to fight back against imperialist Western capitalist nations. Fuck you.
Democrats, because that's who he listens to.
No, unfortunately, because as you know, there is a part of the Democratic Party that believes that this country is bad and that Marxism is the right ideology. And unfortunately, I always tell my colleagues that they have drank the Kool-Aid, that they do not what democratic socialism means. Anything that has to do with socialism, if not ask the Ukrainians, my friend Victoria Spark, who is the only Ukrainian on the floor, we know, we Cubans, my parents, my ancestors. So that is why the Biden administration has not been able to be more forceful against Vladimir Putin, against the Castros, or against the
When she says my ancestors were anti-communist, understand that she's literally saying, like, I owned slaves. My ancestors owned slaves. Sure, there are plenty of Cubans, second-generation Cubans or whatever. Well, not second-generation, but first-generation Cubans that don't like the current administration, don't like the economic situation in Cuba. Not every single fucking Cuban that hates Castro is a direct descendant of slave owners, obviously. I'll give him that. But when she says ancestors, okay, with her entire chest, understand that the historic anti-communists in Cuba were, a fan of the dictatorship before the regime change and the revolution.
Maduro regime. I'm telling you, one of his advisors is right now in Caracas negotiating. So may the Lord help this country, but we know that that influence that Biden is surrounded by is nefarious for the future of America.
Well, thank you, Congresswoman, for keeping your eye on all the different spots, South America, Cuba, Ukraine. Can't wait to have you back on. Thank you for joining us on the Sunday night.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.